Hello from Glasgow. I'm Peter Lacey, Accenture's Global Sustainability Services Lead and Chief Responsibility Officer. With the first of our daily updates from COP26. COP26 at speed. The UN Climate Change Conference today is really a seminal moment globally for tackling carbon emissions. As the conference starts, Accenture and the United Nations Global Compact have released a new study, Climate Leadership at the 11th Hour. In it, we spoke with more than 1,200 CEOs across 113 countries, including 400 from the Global South, about sustainability and climate change. When I reflect on what they told us, I think that what emerges are 10 key points for governments and policymakers that are incredibly valuable as ways of unleashing a new industrial revolution. An industrial revolution with net zero and sustainability at the heart. The 10 things that we heard collectively from CEOs that almost make up a plan for the world are, first, align all nationally determined contributions to a 1.5 degree trajectory to accelerate the decarbonisation of value chains. Second, simplify how business can engage in the COP process itself. Business leaders want the opportunity to collaborate more closely with policymakers at COP and in national processes, and to develop more public-private partnerships. Third, take concrete action to implement carbon pricing. CEOs support the development of carbon pricing. That's what they want. They want clarity. Schemes that help to really have high-quality carbon crediting markets. Fourth, establish common standards for biodiversity protection, strengthening the nexus between climate and nature. CEOs want to see more advanced biodiversity frameworks that put their measurement on a par with climate action, and also incorporate the circular economy as a way of integrating waste, energy, water, materials, as well as climate change in a more holistic sense. Fifth, CEOs told us that they want to further improve ESG measurement and reporting frameworks. There are efforts underway to harmonise standards, but there remains work to be done to establish comparable, harmonised ESG data standards. In particular, CEOs would like to see more from global accounting and standards bodies, building on the positive work of, for example, the World Economic Forum, SASB, the SDGs, and the UN Global Compact set of 10 principles. Sixth, and this is key, we heard again and again, honour the $100 billion commitment in climate mitigation and adaptation financing for the Global South. Business leaders recognise that the critical role is there for the Global South in achieving the SDGs and in particular tackling climate change. But it also needs to develop resiliency to impacts of physical climate change risk. This has become particularly important in the pandemic era where the scarcity of resources is absolutely real. Seventh, CEOs told us that they need to see the acceleration of planning processes and approvals for clean energy infrastructure investment. CEOs would like to see approvals for projects such as renewable generation, distributed energy, transport infrastructure, such as scaled electric vehicle charging stations, reduced to 24 months or less. Some CEOs have told me it takes 7 or 8 years, and they want to span a broader set of technologies, offshore and onshore wind, modernising grids for the low-carbon transition, solar, for example. Eighth, CEOs told us that they want to see the promotion by governments and policymakers of sustainable purchasing power. CEOs would like to see procurement and investment strategies, as well as pandemic funding programs aligned with 2030 goals. For example, clean power consumption requirements in proposal requests for data centres. Ninth, what CEOs want to see as well is increases in research and development funding into key technologies. These include the next generation of technologies, biofuels, green hydrogen, battery storage, and natural and engineered removals, as well as interconnected circular economy impacts in water, waste, and materials. And 10th, and finally, CEOs told us that they want to see more support for education, for skills and development on sustainable development. We've just finished a session here which shows that only 26% of national climate change plans have education at their heart. That should be 100%. There are new job opportunities as we transition to net zero, as we reduce emissions across the economy, and as we make sure that we have an equitable and just generation of new jobs. You can read the full report at accenture.com/UNGC. And we will be tracking progress and keeping you posted over the next 2 weeks on some of these critical themes for businesses. So watch for more daily COP at Speed session, not just with me, with other Accenture leaders and with guests from business and policy. I hope you found that helpful. See you tomorrow. And until then, goodbye from COP on our opening day.